how many books I've read in 2026. Let's find out. Plenty. And this is without counting the ones I read online. So, and there is another one holding the phone right now. It's half of June. We are literally at half of 2026, and I decided that it was time to have a glimpse about what I read, so I can give recommendations, reflect, and look back at my journey. This will be the last. So I want to start with my favorite book that I've read this year, which is The Hobbit by Tolkien. And I have also a little bit page holder that my teachers made me so kind. It's beautiful. This book was in English and I literally fell in love with. I was obsessed. In probably 2 days I finished it without rushing. I was very deep into it. For those who don't know about Tolkien universe, it's a British author and it wrote about tales, myths, elves, hobbit, and but you have to find out. I usually prefer to read the book before the film, and I think it's totally worth it. So if you don't know what to read, this one should be on your read list. Then I read this one, Joseph Conrad, The Shadow Line, La linea d'ombra. This one is in Italian. I thought that it was easy read because it isn't a lot of pages, but I must admit this is not my type. It was very boring, maybe too deep for me. I'm still discovering which is my type actually, and this is not mine. Joseph Conrad is a sailor, probably Ukrainian or Belarusian, who wrote many books, which one is famous for inspiring the film Apocalypse Now. That is a must-watch. I don't recommend it. Skip it. Or maybe, if you're like me, don't read it. One of the first books that I ever read this year was this one. Tiziano Terziani, Un altro giro di giostra. In English it should be like another round of playground. Literally translation. Journey through the best, the good and bad of our time. I like it. It was a very deep book. Tiziano Terziani is an Italian journalist who got cancer, a very important one. And this book, it talks about his journey, his fears, his discoveries, and it's very deep. It's a brick and it's very dense of emotions, consideration, but it's a very good adventure. I love adventures, that's why I love, and you will see why. I recommend it if you want to read something that will leave you something, if you know what I mean. Next one, is a book that I was forced to read, but I still enjoy it, and is Una piccola pace by Mattia Signorini, which is a local writer near my town, and is an historical book about the First World War, sorry, and the events before the Second World War. It's a novel, but it's not bad actually. Probably boring and not one of my favorites. From 1 to 10 I would say it's a 6. But it was very nice to talk about it with my classmates, my friends, and I think that should be a thing that I would like to do in the future. Start reading with my friend group the same book so we can discuss it later. I think that's dope. Then, an easy read that I read during my holidays. This one. Life with the Horses. Bears. Sorry. It's in English. It probably is like beers on our yard, something like that. And it's a book about a couple living off-grid in Canada, and it was very different from what I usually read, and I like it. This one was unbelievably was surprisingly good. I enjoyed the life of this couple. It was very inspiring, and it made me desire that life. Maybe one day, who knows, if they are still alive, they could invite me, probably, to shoot at wild animals and defend the glory of America. Then, this may look two, but they are one. I'm very gothy. Is Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. This book was one of my favorites of all time. Some girl told me, "How can you read this? It's so boring. What the hell?" But it's in my heart, and it would be till my last days. It was wonderful. I loved the characters. Tolstoy belonged to the aristocratic life, and through this book you can realize it. It is so good at talking about that class, and the characters at the end of the book really feels like they are alive and here with us. I truly love it. And he also had a Catholic side that I was searching in books. I read many books with Catholic side, I would say, or kinda, like Dracula, The Great Gatsby, Frankenstein, but this one is very deep. And Tolstoy really made me curious about Russian novels, and probably in the future I will start reading War and Peace or try Dostoevsky, which I still didn't, except of White Knights, but you know, cioè. The pages are so fucking small. I almost asked myself if I should buy glasses for this book, but yeah. The next one is this one, Italo Calvino, Le città invisibili, which means the invisible cities. It was very unusual for me. Is an Italian author, like I said, and what truly interested me was the setting. Marco Polo, which is a famous Venetian traveler from where I live, and that makes me really glad and proud, goes to the court of Genghis Khan, and they follow the travels of Marco Polo through Asia, actually an undefined world where cities exist and non-exist. It's very strange, but you will realize why when you read it. It's very easy and left me many ideas and I enjoyed every page. Truly worth it. I wanna take a break from the paper and now we'll pass through the digital books. The first book I read on the Kindle this year was Ikigai. You know that. It's a Japanese book, actually based in Japan, where they try to discover the purpose of life and what is needed for a very meaningful life and a life worth waking up for. I try to avoid mostly the Kindle because the feeling of paper is unbeatable. It has infinite value, and also I thought that these digital books before sleeping would mess with my circadian rhythm, so I tried to avoid that. The first was Ikigai, but the second was Six of Crows. Six of Crows of the Grishaverse is a fantasy book that is very original. I read it in English and it truly stuck with me. It was very addicting. Soon I finished, and there is also a part 2 that I still have to read, but one day I will. They recommended it to me. I also have to mention the books that I read that I borrowed from the library that I do not have here. That which is obviously The Lord of the Rings. You maybe not believe it, but I read it all in Italian during the winter holidays, the winter break. And I'm super happy, I'm super glad to have read the book before the movies. I didn't like the movies. I know it's controversial and many don't have my opinion, don't share my opinion. But I don't care, I don't give a shit. Then I had other novels, easy ones, in English. This one is Code to Zero by Ken Follett, which is a bestseller author. And my mother always recommended me this. It's a very good book. And in English, it's very nice to read actually. It made me realize how much I love English and I would like to improve. I think my speaking is what lacks of experience. And this is why I'm here. Sorry for the break. Now I need to get the book from behind the phone, which is the last book I read this year, which is Timeline by Michael Crichton, the writer of Jurassic Park. It was a break, but entertaining, easy and enjoyable. When you have a lot to study, you don't want to mess with your head, you just want to see the words pass and feel the plot twist, something in your side of you. These books is what you're searching for. Okay guys, these are all the books, almost all the books I've read this year. Sorry if I shit talked. I didn't say much, but I'm tired. It's June, it's summer, it's exam week, and I wanted to share with you a first sight. Guys, I'm very happy. If you have comments, questions, I will answer quickly.